Just have to ask a couple of questions about the $100,000 limit in the 200 transactions. I mean, I suppose that was specifically referenced in the case as a worthy threshold, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. For South Dakota.
For South Dakota, but I'm saying, was that referenced in as part of the conclusion in the Supreme Court case? Those particular thresholds is not impeding interstate commerce? Or
not necessarily those particular thresholds, because I think that's going to vary depending on, of course, the state's economy and size. But having a safe harbor for smaller businesses, businesses that don't do very much business in your state, that was something that the Supreme Court noted.
And on that, so we would have to think about how the trigger happens. And so you get to a point and all of a sudden then anything $100,000 above in sales, you collect on anything, which comes first? You could have 50 transactions. How is that going to work in case someone does, we implement this and they reach the threshold? Is it retroactive that they owe the taxes on the back, or is it just inside the month of collection, or how do we keep tabs on that?
Well, certainly I think that, certainly I don't work in the retail industry, but I think that they already have pretty good information on the level of their sales already existing in the state of Arkansas. So certainly now there are going to be some companies that are startups that they're going to have to make those business decisions on the front end. If they think that they're going to get to that threshold, that they are going to have to make a decision. They recognize that they are getting very close to those thresholds, and maybe they need to make that decision to register because they anticipate that they could be getting to the 200 total transactions within the scope of a year, or the 100,000 sales. Ultimately, the General Assembly will make a determination of what thresholds are appropriate. But certainly, we're talking about a court case that here was just recently decided. Retailers are making decisions now because they're already registering with us, despite us not having yet a comparable law being enacted. So I think it's really going to be a business decision on those individual taxpayers to decide.
Well, I would argue it needs to be written into the law. However that triggers what happens and when, it needs to be more specific to them rather than being left open-ended. Is there, when you said, is it calendar year, is it fiscal year? There's a lot of things that are going to have to be laid out in my opinion to be able to provide guidance. It's my understanding that the sales tax audits aren't pretty. There's a lot of them happening here in the state of Arkansas, and if we expand this to out of state, then I would assume in some way there's going to have to be some type of, what is the punishment for someone not remitting when they're supposed to be remitting? And if we don't have clear guidelines on when they're supposed to remit, I just don't see how you have a workable system, and that's my concern. I believe in the parity, but there's going to have to be a lot of soul searching on how DFA is going to implement and how they're actually going to carry out to enforce to make sure that out-of-state entities are adhering to the law. Because we sure do a lot of it here in state to our own folks. And
there's also the issue of that we, as a member of the Streamline Agreement, there may be a business that does a tremendous amount of business in one of our sister states in the Streamline Agreement, and when they register with Streamline, because they already know that they are meeting some substantial thresholds for states that have enacted a similar law as this proposal, they are going to be automatically registered in all the Streamline states. So a business may not even be getting to the thresholds in Arkansas yet and register with Streamline, and it will have a spillover effect to all of those other states that are registered. But certainly for purposes of doing an audit of a taxpayer, that we have experience in performing audits of companies that, based upon the information that we have, that we believe that they do have sufficient nexus with the state of Arkansas to collect sales tax. We obtain the information from that taxpayer. We do a review and analysis, and sometimes we make a determination that yes, that taxpayer has nexus and they need to, they should have been collecting tax. We certainly want to work with them, bring them into compliance. The purpose of our audits are not to punish taxpayers, but those taxpayers that are full aware that they have the nexus with our state, they should be collecting. We hope to bring them into compliance so we can get them going on a going forward basis to be appropriately collecting the tax from their customers. So, but we certainly have experience with taxpayers that they in their minds do not believe that they have a nexus whatsoever with us. And we work with them to determine the nature of their business activity in the state, and then we'll make a determination whether they should be collecting on tax.
And so just for comment, I mean, that's what I think to be very specific in how we write the law and how those thresholds are met and when someone's required, as opposed to, again, leaving it up to the taxpayer on how to, because I think they deserve guidance and to have that, you know, that written law or rule or whatever it may need to be very clear and easy to understand. Thank you.
We agree.